Day 16 of Pride. Now, I think we can all agree that of all the manga demographics in Japan that obviously extend to their anime adaptations as well, historically, shoujo has been the most LGBT friendly, especially when in comparison to its gender binary counterpart. So in honor of Pride Month, today I'm gonna be just listing some of my personal favorite LGBT characters from shoujo. Some from anime, some from manga, some from both. Some we've touched on, some obvious as fuck, and some a little more obscure by my estimation, but as usual, I could be completely wrong. Also, disclaimer, these are just my personal favorites from the series, not just listing everybody who is of the acronym in those said same series. Said same series? I will probably skip over your faves. There's no shade to them, they're just not my faves. So yell at me who your faves are from those series and anyone I may have missed in the comments below. Not too aggressively though, I'm sensitive. Spoilers for everything, it's all coming out the canon closet. Kicking off with one of the most recent shoujo manga to get an anime adaptation this year, Hanazakari no Kimitachi e, aka Hana Kimi. In this case, Dr. Hokuto Umeda, the openly gay icon of the story. And arguably Mizuki's greatest ally in the disaster of a situation she's put herself in. Great to see such an openly gay man also visibly involved with other gay men. Can't talk about queerness and shoujo and my shirt without shouting out arguably the most popular shoujo story of all time, Sailor Moon! LGBT characters, the whole cast in my mind. But in canon, obviously everybody's favorite cousin lesbians, Haruka and Michiru. Deke said, let there be wind. There would be no Homomato without Harumichi, although only one of these two things was made by a woman. Of course, there's also Usagi and her relationships with Mamoru, Haruka, and Seiya. Not to go on a tangent when the video just started, and I already kind of basically outlined all of this in my shoujo video from last year, but the first time I watched the original anime, I base level enjoyed all the Seiya ongoings with Usagi and Sailor Stars. I like Mamoru, but I was also here for the Seiusa of it all. I love a triangle, I also love infidelity, but something about the Cosmos movies had me newly hot and bothered for Seiya. Seiya-san, come get this Suki no Hana! Seiya and the rest of the Starlights are gender as fuck, and have objectively the best transformation theme song. The wig is staying on for the rest of this video, even though it doesn't apply to literally anything else. Donate to my Patreon or click join if you want to be on in every video. Furuba, or Fruits Basket, we're obviously talking about Hatsuharu, the bipolar bicon with bi-colored pubes. Nobody is doing it like this anymore, and it's a crime. His first love is Yuki, and later he gets with Rin, as my cousin Hana sings. I'm sure most people would say clamp everything and anything. And I both disagree and agree simultaneously, but we're not getting into it during Pride. For now, I will agree to agree and then go back to being homophobic in another month. What we are going to get into are my list of favorites from two, technically three series of clamps. Firstly, and most obviously, and already done in another video this month, so most repetitively, Cardcaptor Sakura. Like I've said, the most bisexual clamp story, at least canonically. Watch my bi anime video for an elaboration. But as for additional faves, I would also mention Tomoyo, as well as the very relatable and very genderless Ruby Moon. Secondly, from two series, Subaru Sumeragi, the man with terrible taste in other men, also relatable. Ex-Subaru is so hot, by the way. If I gouged my eye out, would I also be his type? Without the wig. I'll mention Seishiro because I feel like peer pressure is telling me to, but we have tangibly not gotten a reciprocation confirmation, so I'm inclined to think he's just a sociopathic manipulator, but I'll concede to him also liking men because he is also hot. My mortal enemy, Ouran Koko Hosto Clubbo, is on this list because Haruhi's father, Ryoji Fujioka, is overall great. Ouran, in retrospect, for me personally, was just fine, but Ryoji unquestionably was a highlight as a bi guy. Also Kyoya, also the twins twinning. Kiss, kiss him, not me. Another one full to the brim with Frotogine of different flavors. Expect nothing less from a former BL mangaka. Kai Serenuma loves the boys and the girl singular. Shima Nishina, said singular, who also loves Serenuma. And Kazuma Mutsumi, a man with no other plan but to flirt with anyone in his vicinity. Full circle to the pre-Pride video, Barao no Saretsu, aka Requiem of the Rose King. As I mentioned in that video, Richard III is an intersex man who has relationships with other men and at least one woman. Who are some of those men? I'm only listing my favorites because I am not a fan of Henry personally. Catesby. Ugh, the longing for Ricciardo. I would say I was rooting for him if I wasn't enthralled by the unspoken divide. And of course, my bad man fucking Ham. A bastard bisexual cheating on his wife, the hot whore. Tensei Akujo no Kurorekushi, aka the dark history of the reincarnated villainess. So many fucking goddamn words. Third time I've mentioned it. How many more times will I continue to vaguely mention it? We will talk next week, I swear. Second to last, in a series I completely forgot was Shoujo, Hakenden Toho Haken Ibun. And I should have known because if you know, you know. And if you don't, that's your fault. Now, last I checked, the Shino Sosuke Satomi, so many S's, and Ao of it all, is not fully confirmed, but if you know, then you understand why it's also not fully unconfirmed. But Genpachi's bi-ass is dicking around regardless, so at least we got one and it doesn't start with an S. And lastly, from one of my favorite I Can't Believe It's Not Yuri series, watch the video if you haven't, don't be lesbophobic, Kageki Shoujo, although ironically, not one of the girls. Shout out my boyfriend ballerina instructor Taichi, an openly gay man and apparently community hole. We stand. Also shout out to the beautiful Coca girl on the inside and fellow balding rainbro Onodera sensei. Is this representation? Obviously there's a shit ton more elemental people in shoujo from across the decades. I only listed my personal favorites, so make sure to list yours in the comments below. Going from a positive to a negative because all things in life require balance, tomorrow for day 17 I will be recounting my absolute worst BL manhwa reading experience. Can you guess what series it is before then? Bye! So if you wanna be down